Let's just be spontaneous. You ready? Boom.
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
You don't even know what that word means. All right, we're Everything Guns. I'm David. On the other mic is Jody. What do you got for this week?
Oh, that's a good intro. Better than your other one. Got a couple gun and gear reviews I've got from some things I've sold recently from Clear Creek Shooting, which is the sponsor of this segment. Clear Creek Shooting. For all your gun needs, check out Clear Creek Shooting at clearcreekshooting33.com. That's my business.
Yeah, continue on.
Yeah. So I sold a little 22 rifle, a Rossi RB22 bolt action, 18-inch barrel matte wood finish. We took it out this weekend, zeroed in for the guy. He bought a little True Glow scope. I mean, a little cheap $30 scope. Four magnification by 32 millimeter. Nice little. I mean, for what it was, little rimfire scope. Pretty nice little scope. But gun shot really well. I was happy with it. Little bolt action.
Yeah, it was fun to shoot.
It was real fun to shoot. Smooth shooting. It was accurate. I mean, the groups we were putting were right in with the little dot that we put on the target. So
Yeah.
very pleased with it. Sold it for $225. They got a synthetic version that I could sell for probably around $169, $179. So if anybody's interested, check it out on the website.
Had a 10-round magazine with it.
Yeah, it had one 10-round mag.
That's all that came with it, just one magazine?
Yeah, just one. But yeah, I mean, cheap. If you're looking for a cheap little starter gun for somebody, or you just want something to play around with, and you like bolt action, it's pretty cheap little gun for that. So
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Well, I'm just going to review the Springfield XDS. It's one of the first carry guns I had. I don't know how old it is, 7, 8, 9 years old now. It's been out for a good while. Single stack. It's the one I have is it looks nice. It's got the lower, which is the tan color with the black upper. It looks really good. But I was, thought about talking about it. It has just kind of compare it to what's out there now, and do these have a place in the market anymore? These single stacks. This one is 7+1. You can get an 8-round magazine or a 9-round magazine with it.
Are they still available?
Well, the XDS Mod 2s are available. I don't know if you can probably find the XDSs somewhere. Not at Springfield you can't, but you got the XDS Mod 2 OSP, which basically is an optical sight plate. So it's still, even with those, they're still like 0.9 inches wide. It's still the same footprint as the original XDS, but then you can put a optic on it. So that's nice. But
I see this XDS. I can get the XDS Mod 2 from one of my wholesalers.
Yeah. So, but the original XDS, which is what I have here, is, like I said, it's about 0.9 inch in width, 6.3 inch overall length. Height is, with the magazine, which is the 7-round magazine, is like 4.4 inches, 3.3 inch barrel. So it's about the size of the Smith & Wesson Shield.
Yeah.
The original Shield. So they're comparable in size, and they were kind of competing against one another. It's got a fiber optic front sight and a dovetail rear sight. So nice sights. I like the fiber optic. You could go either red or green. I got the green on this one. They're good shooting guns. I mean, they're not a lot of recoil on them. I mean, it's for a small 9mm. It's not bad recoil. The trigger has something to be desired. It's a pretty mushy trigger and a pretty long. Yeah, definitely a mushy trigger. You don't really feel a good stop to it. It just mushes in, and then a pretty long reset to it.
Yeah, I'm seeing these Mod 2s OSPs. Not a bad price. I could get them pretty cheap.
Yeah, I mean, this one you could get real cheap now, probably less than $300, I bet, for the original XDS.
If you can find it, I didn't see it. I mean, I could get this one. I could sell one of these for around $400. The Mod 2s.
It's got a couple safeties. You got your trigger safety, like your Nike Glocks and other guns. It also has a
grip safety,
which I ain't crazy about, but it's there. So
I don't know.
Never had any issues with it.
I like grip safeties.
You would, but
what does that mean? Because I
know how grip safeties. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you? Whatever. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, it's a nice gun. At the time they were coming out, it was really nice. Good grip. I like the grip pretty well as far as texture to it. I wish it had a little bit more in the middle of it, but it's got fairly decent texture around it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one. I actually carried mine not too long ago. I was looking for something that was going to carry outside the waistband. I wanted a low profile gun. It's real thin.
Yeah, but I
so-
still carry it. I got the tier 1 in the waistband holster. I forget which one this is.
Yeah,
But-
I don't remember.
But
Tier 1 makes good holsters.
yeah, so I still carry it every once in a while. It's a little smaller profile than my Canik, so I need something a little bit smaller. Obviously less. I usually carry it with 8-round mag, so
I've got several.
8 plus.
I got
one.
several
Not bad.
Springfields.
It's not bad. So
I got-
it's just not as nice. I don't have optic on that because
Yeah.
it doesn't have one. But
I got two
Yeah.
XDMs and I got that XDS in
Yeah,
Springfield. So
I
I
got-
like Springfield,
yeah, I like Springfield pretty well.
regardless of some of their historical
Yeah.
stuff
Some
that
of the
they've
things they have
done.
with the company, they try to make up for it, but
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an older version, XD Mod 2 with the OSPs, a newer version of that same gun. So if you're looking for a thing, and so my question is, I mean, are they still relative?
I don't know.
Is there,
No. I
Oh,
mean, to
you're
be
not?
honest,
You
I don't
say
think so. I don't think so. I mean, you.
what about states that have 10-round magazine or less? So that's
Maybe so there, I guess. And maybe in California, I don't know. California's so strict on what guns you can carry. So,
Yeah.
some of the newer stuff might not even be on their list. So
But
it might be relevant. It's not relevant to me because I'm going to carry something with higher capacity. But
yeah.
I guess to
but
your
if
point.
somebody's looking for a smaller gun, smaller footprint, single stack, I
Yeah.
mean, not a lot of single stack guns out there anymore. You got some. I mean,
Not for carry. I
course-
mean, you got single stack for
of course,
competition stuff.
the like your Hellcat and your
365.
365s, they're not much bigger than that. So when you can get more capacity with those, Hellcat.
Yeah, that's what I
I
mean.
think the Hellcat's got a better trigger, better than
And
overall gun.
Springfield's improved their triggers. I'd be curious to see what the Mod 2 trigger looks like because they've
yeah.
improved
I've
their
shot the
triggers.
Hellcat, and it's definitely got a better trigger. I would assume the Mod 2 is somewhat comparable to that. So
And it's what I've seen from the reviews on the Echelon. It's got a pretty good trigger. So
yeah, I like the way that gun looks.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good gun.
but I was started looking at like the Bertha 9, the Bertha BP 9cc, and it's very similar to the XDS, and that's why I decided to review the XDS. So
yeah,
something we shot. I've always liked the way it shoots, but
yeah. So
and you can probably pick those up pretty cheap at a gun shop that's on the used section. Probably be my guess.
Yeah. Speaking of guns, we're gonna try to do a gun giveaway next year. Hopefully early next year if we can get enough entries. If we start seeing a few more reviews or just emails to our podcast, and
A few more, like one,
we got one.
two,
Yeah. So
maybe 2 or 3.
So check us, send us an email at info@clearcreekshooting33.com. Leave a comment on our Instagram pages. I think it's everything guns _ podcast.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Clear Creek Shooting 33.
Clear Creek Shooting 33.
Yeah.
And I also got a YouTube page now. What is that? Clear Creek Shooting.
Pretty sure it's Clear Creek Shooting 33.
Yeah, I think it's Clear Creek
That's
Shooting
your
33.
business, man. My
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I think it is Clear Creek Shooting. I did put my DQ video on that.
Yeah.
It blew up, man. I got like 2,500 views in the
Yeah.
first 2 days. Pretty good video there. So the next gear I've got, or the first piece of gear I got is so I've sold a couple scopes over the last few days. One is a night vision scope, which is I think $1,000 night vision scope. It's a pretty cool little scope. Came with a rangefinder on it. And then I also sold this little thermal viewer. It's an ATN OTS XLT 2.5x10 thermal viewer. And the little, it's pretty cool. It's thermal imaging monocular by ATN, advanced infrared detectors. It lets you see thermal signatures, spotting human body heat or even detecting varmints. It's got a digital zoom. So the very first button is a 2.5 zoom, and you hit the next button and it moves up. You don't zoom it in. You can't get anything in between digital zoom. It will do some range finding for you, so it'll tell you how far something is away. It can work during the night or the day. So
In case for those people who didn't know what rangefinding meant, you throw in there and tell you how far away it is.
whatever, man. Yeah, it's got
Well,
a Obsidian Core
Hey,
LT.
Tell me what a rangefinder is.
the
What's it
micro
do?
would you shut
Micro
up?
what?
Display.
Oh,
The micro display is 720,540 pixels. Charges by USB. Got a 10-hour runtime. It's got 3 color modes: white hot, black, and red. And I've seen a video on it. It's pretty cool. I mean, you can see somebody walking pretty far away with their heat signatures. It says it's got a human detection range of 850 meters.
yeah,
It's about similar to 850 yards, if you was wondering.
pretty close. A little
And,
bit further.
Yeah, and you can human ID range of 210 meters. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, if you wanted to take it out, you were doing some hunting, you could just, scan the area, get a heat signature, and then if it was daytime, pull out your binoculars or your scope to see what's there. So I think it's pretty cool. And that one actually sold that pretty cheap for like $625
Oh, yeah.
for a thermal viewer, and that's it's for ATN. That was their lower priced stuff, but all the reviews I've seen on it was good. So hopefully I could, once the person bought it for their husband for Christmas, so maybe I could see it after they get it out. So it's a pretty neat little thing. That's what I got. So there's a couple of things I've got that I've sold over the last few days.
Right.
At Clear Creek shooting.
Don't just stop talking. What's next?
I thought do you have anything else?
No, I did my gun review.
I thought you had a gear review too.
Nah, we could talk about this holster that I already talked about.
No, I'm talking.
Tier
You don't
one.
even know what kind of holster it was.
Yeah, it's a tier 1.
All right, it's
Axis.
just
Oh, it's the Axis. I bet it's the Axis. It's got the
Axis Elite or just Axis?
probably Axis Elite because I'm Elite. I always like these little pads. I put these on all mine.
Yeah, I like how you
Yeah.
point to it and think everybody listening can see
I'm
that little
showing
pad.
you.
Okay.
The two and the edge pad, the wedges,
The
little
wedge,
wedges.
the little wedges on it.
Yeah. those are nice. They help for comfort. For
All right, let's just jump into our use of force cases. We got several use of force cases. The first one's out of California. California homeowner, it's actually out of L.A. Shoots armed burglar, killing one of them. Around 5 a.m., a homeowner inside the residence was inside the residence when 3 men broke into the house. There was also a grandmother and a child in the home as well. So the homeowner heard the people breaking in, retrieved their firearm, and fired multiple rounds, striking one of them, actually killing one of them. The other suspects fled the scene. They actually left. They arrived at the scene in a BMW. Did you see that?
Yeah, they actually got in the house and had the
Yeah.
gun on the guy. I don't know if you saw that article.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, they were in the house. I don't know how he got to his gun, but there was another article. They had gotten in the house, holding the gun on the guy, and somehow he got to his gun and started a gun battle.
Well, he won the gun battle.
Yeah, and then he got arrested.
Yeah, he did get arrested. But I mean, we say that all the time. That's going to happen. We
Yeah.
tell people you will be arrested. So
and,
just
and he
plan
was
on it.
arrested.
He was arrested, and he was taken in for questioning, but later released. The other suspects that fled the scene, of course, there's no arrest. They left the car at the scene, so I don't know how they can't figure out who they were unless they stole the car.
Yeah,
I
my
assume that
guess
since
is
it's
they
a
stole the
BMW
car.
coming to a robbery, that's probably a stolen
Yeah.
car. But they
Yeah.
did leave the car and left their buddy behind too.
Yeah,
So that was the first one. And we talk about this all the time. You need, even when you're at home, you need to have access to
Yeah.
a firearm.
Have
If
it-
you're
have
not
it
carrying it
close
with
by.
you, have it close by. Especially in situations like that. So he's
Yeah.
lucky if he.
did it say? I don't remember because it's been a little bit. Did they kick the door in, or did he open the door and let him in? I don't remember.
I don't know. I need to look and see. I didn't see anything
Yeah,
that mentioned
I probably should
that.
have reviewed that before this, but
Well, I didn't see anything that
Yeah, I
said
don't
how they
remember.
got in.
yeah, that goes back to one of our first episodes. Don't open the door.
Yeah, exactly.
If he just opened the door.
Have a plan. You had a grandmother and a child in the home, so California still has castle doctrine in California. There's no duty to retreat. You good?
I was looking for the mute button, but
Oh, that's right. That's right there. All right.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so even in California, I'd say you still have the castle doctrine, so you can protect yourself in your home. So you should be prepared.
It seems like he did fairly decently as far
Yeah.
as protecting themselves. I don't know what else you could do other than if depending on how they got in, maybe you harden your door if they kicked in, or don't open the door if you just let them. If you just went open to the.
Well, I mean, the only other thing is he had to
were.
go retrieve his gun instead of having it with him. During
Yeah,
this. So if they
I
got
say
in,
that.
and,
You know, that one article did, and the other article talked about how they had a gun on him. So I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know how he got.
I don't
to
know.
it.
Yeah, if they had a gun on him, how he retrieved it.
But-
We'll do an update in our next episode on that if we can find any more information on that. But
Yeah.
the points are still valid. You know, he did a good job. He was prepared. He kept his family from getting injured. So good job on his part. And as of the last review I did on this, there was no charges filed against him. But we always talk about, even if you're in your home and you use deadly force, you're probably going to be arrested and taken in for questioning. Have a lawyer present. Don't answer any questions. Just trying to keep from going to jail is not the time to start answering questions in your home, especially during a stressful situation. So let them take you in. Don't answer questions until you have a lawyer present. That's one good reason to have some type of insurance that we've talked about before, the USCCA or CCW. And we'll talk a little bit about that because there's been some stories in the news recently about USCCA, and so we'll kind of cover some of that.
Well, here's what the LAPD said about this. Said just after 1 p.m. Saturday
My gosh,
afternoon.
this says 5 a.m., so I wish they get their stories straight.
Yeah, this article says after 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon, a suspect pointed a weapon at the victim, and while the suspects were inside the residence, the victim produced a firearm, and a shooting occurred.
Well, did they break in, or were they in the house? I mean,
It says they were called first to a home in the wherever it was.
you sure this is the LA one?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, news is awful.
This one, it starts off Saturday morning on calls of a hot prowl or a burglary in progress when the homeowner is present. And then it talks about 1 p.m. in the same article,
Yeah,
in a different paragraph.
well, we say the same issue with this next use of force case.
I like this. It says
reporting.
video shows the male homeowner being detained by police during the initial investigation. It shows they got a good picture of him being there. He got a picture of the people that did it. We got a picture of the guy that protected himself, getting
protected
in
himself.
handcuffs outside the police car.
We know it's going to happen, so you got to be prepared for that. And also, we talk about you don't say anything to the police. Make sure your family knows not to talk to the police either.
Right.
They don't have to answer questions either.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I like about the USCCA training when I went through the instructor course is they went through the details of what you go through during those type of situations and what stress does to your memory and all that kind of stuff. So, well, by the way, we probably going to have a class to do after the first of the year. Just to give you a heads up on that.
All right.
The next one, use of force. This is out of I think this is out of Texas. The Church's chicken shooting.
Yeah, it's Texas.
Yeah. So we actually come across this one. Wasn't this one in the USCCA magazine where they had some of the details just completely
No, it wasn't
wrong?
a magazine. It was
it was an email.
Email
they
they sent out.
Yeah. So this is a little bit
Man, I wish
older.
I
It
had
was
some
a
Church's
couple.
chicken right now.
Oh man, that's
That'd be
good.
good. That's what we ought to have next time. Church's chicken. I don't know how we're going to get it because we don't have one nearby.
Well, there's one in Tuscaloosa.
We're not in Tuscaloosa.
I know we're not.
I don't know if you know that or not.
No. When we go to Dallas to the NRA show, we get it. I already looked up a couple closer to the hotel.
Get some chicken on the way home.
This is some good stuff.
All right,
Love that.
continue on.
Love that Church's chicken. I'll put that down as a possible title.
Love that Church's chicken.
Anyway,
Is
so
that the commercial?
it might be.
I think that's their slogan.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if we can use that.
Probably not.
All right. Well, I got it
sure.
written down. I really like that Church's chicken.
Go on.
So in the USCCA, when they talked about the person was already inside the restaurant, because they were mentioning
chicken. They said eating chicken.
because they were talking about use of cover and concealment, which has been our tip of the week for the last 3 episodes that we never brought up.
We hadn't done a tip of the week.
I know. We keep saying we do.
We'll do it this week.
It's cover and concealment. But actually what happened, because I seen the video, is you had 2 robbers enter the restaurant, forcing the employees to go toward the back of the restaurant. There was a guy in the drive-thru, and he's seen all this happening, so he gets out of his car, draws his weapon, and starts firing at the 2 guys
From the window?
from the drive-through window.
Okay.
So if you're looking about cover, he had cover. It was probably a concrete wall or a brick wall or
yeah.
something.
So
there.
he got out of his car.
He
didn't
did get
fire
out
from his car.
No, he got out
Okay.
of his car and was firing through them. They, of course, as soon as he started shooting at them, they fled pretty quickly. I don't know if he hit anybody or not, but they did leave.
Well, let's talk about what was good and what was bad in that then.
Well, bad. I don't think he got his chicken. So,
Well, we don't know.
well, I
That'd be
would. I would
bad.
assume he
I'm
probably
getting
did.
the chicken. I'm getting chicken before I leave that place.
I'm not paying for it either.
No, give me some chicken.
Uh,
Well, bad actually. I mean, he's shooting, and he don't. He
There's a potential he could have
Potential-
some, depending on what, I don't know. I mean, he had a good view.
of everybody of through the counter everywhere else. I mean, there's a
Well, I mean-
possibility of hitting somebody. You didn't
Yeah, I
see.
mean, there could have been somebody in the restaurant he didn't
Yeah.
see.
So,
Yeah, could have went through some of the walls.
So yeah, I mean, it's probably not the best route, but if he was thought somebody was about to get killed, maybe. I mean, obviously.
But
it
he
didn't.
had his firearm with him. He
Yep,
came to
he
the aid
did.
of others, which these days is a tricky thing to do. Or,
Yeah, you got to be careful because you're liable to get prosecuted for
Yeah,
shooting
we've seen
somebody
it.
over some chicken.
Yeah. No, not over chicken. He was trying to save, but they had guns.
He wanted his chicken.
Well, I get he wanted his chicken. Oh, what? Go ahead. I'm going to write that down.
What do you mean? Go ahead.
I'm writing that down. I don't want dead air.
Yeah, yeah.
I want my chicken.
I don't know what else to say about the shooting other than I mean, it was probably better that he got out of his vehicle. I guess.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean,
he would
yeah,
have had a little bit
absolutely.
more cover in his vehicle because he had a door to go through as well. Then if he'd have stayed in it,
yeah, it would have been hard. He couldn't have reached. It'd been hard for him to get a good view of the
possibly.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of vehicle it was.
yeah. I mean, he came to the aid of others. Good outcome. They didn't shoot. Didn't look like they shot back at him. They were just. they
Luckily,
were-
no bystanders were injured, so
yeah.
lucky on that because you're accountable if you got to stray around.
You are accountable, but if you're using it,
Yeah, you say that, but then if you
I
get
know,
some
but I mean,
prosecutors-
technically, if somebody got injured, but you had the legal right to use force, you're not going to be liable for any damage you've done. But you do need to be not legally, criminally, but you could be civilly, I guess.
yeah, you should get some crazy DAers.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. They could say you're. Yeah, you never know
Yeah.
what they're going to do these days.
All right, what else you got?
Third one I got is, and I don't know where this one was at. I just seen a video on YouTube. It's more road rage. We've had several of these over the last few episodes of something that happened on the road. So all I seen was, so it was on a highway, interstate type of road, and you seen a couple of cars that were stopped. Well, you seen one man walking around the front of another vehicle, and you could tell they were arguing. As he walked around the front, he pulls a gun out, racks a slide, walks around to the driver's window and starts pointing it at the driver. Or right at that moment, the driver shoots the guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The dude stumbles away, starts back toward his car, gets about, I don't know, 15 steps, falls over and dies. I mean, he must have got hit in the shoulder or the arm too, because he looked like that arm was dead. He couldn't even, but yeah, he just fell over and died. So
Over stupid.
yeah, over something stupid. It had to be something stupid. But even if it wasn't stupid, there's no reason
So I
to.
assume the other guy didn't get charged with anything.
I didn't see. It didn't
I mean,
show.
it seems justifiable to me.
Yeah, I mean,
The
dude
guy
was
shows
pointing a
up
gun at
pointing
his
a gun
face.
at you through your
Yeah, he was still in his car. He didn't ever leave his car. The guy come around.
That's why you just even if the guy didn't come up with a gun, just walking up to the window, you got a chance of getting shot because you don't know what people are going to do.
Yeah.
Let that crap go. I just don't understand people. It's the ego thing, the pride. I'm not going to let it go. I'm gonna win this and
But looking
You
at
end
it,
end up dead.
yeah. But looking at it from the guy in the car. So here you are again.
Yeah,
He had a gun.
he
He
had
had it
ready.
available.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to go fumbling for it. It wasn't put away where he couldn't. Well, he had plenty of time. It could have been in his trunk nearly as long as
Yeah.
it took that guy to get around him.
Yeah,
So it might have been in his glove compartment. It might have been somewhere
know.
else, but he had time to get to
he
it.
had it with him.
He had it,
So.
yeah, accessible to it. So he was able to get it. He used it before it was used again. For another gun was used on
Yeah,
him. So good,
didn't
good job on
have-
his part.
Yeah, I can't take anything away from him because he don't know what that guy's going to do.
I mean, the guy pointed at him. He
Yeah.
had to. I don't think he had
That's
any other
awful.
choice.
That's so dumb.
Stupid. Dude's dead over that now.
Yeah,
Over stupid stuff.
yeah. The dog picks up real well
Yeah,
when she
keep
runs in
a,
here.
Keep a dog quiet over there.
All right. So yeah,
So that was all the use of force stuff I had. I think there was 3 good uses of force there, and as far as I can tell, none of those people that used deadly force, the innocent people anyway, were
Yeah.
charged with anything,
yeah. Okay.
which is always good. Then we got a couple things in the news. First one is out of I don't know where it was from. A federal judge struck down the Biden administration effort to ban adults from 18 to 20 from buying handguns. So, is barring 18 to 20-year-olds from buying handguns, and they said it was fundamentally unconstitutional. And they basically relied on the Bruin decision. And there was no evidence presented of an age-based purchase or sale of firearms from before or at the founding or during the early republic. So
is that nationally now, or is that just?
Uh,
Or that, I mean, I know different states have different laws, so
yeah, I mean, as a federal judge,
it seems
but-
like it would be
yeah, I'm
cover
sure.
everyone.
I'm sure it's going to get appealed. Everything else
Right.
does. It takes these things forever to go through.
Yeah.
So, as far as I can tell, it hasn't changed anything from my requirements as an FFL. I haven't seen anything come across telling me that I
Yeah,
could
that
sell
you
to an
can sell
18 to
to-
20 year
Yeah,
old.
they're not going.
So right
to.
now I'm not.
Yeah, they won't go. They won't tell you even if they could.
Yeah. So I don't know how that comes across.
Yeah,
You
I don't
know.
know.
So it'd be interesting what happens there. But yeah, it's right. Good news on that side of it, though. It did get struck down. We'll see what happens. I also got an Oregon judge block some strict gun control laws there. But this is just on the state level in Oregon. On the federal level, this gun law was deemed constitutional by a federal judge. So you got the state judge saying it went against the state constitution, but a federal judge said it was okay with the Second Amendment, which is ridiculous. It was basically, this was a voter-approved law, which violates the state constitution. It required a safety course and to pass a test to buy a firearm, and it banned magazines over 10 rounds. I'm all for people getting training.
But it should be mandated.
But there's no way the government can tell me to mandate it, and
No.
because
Then they get to decide what the training is. How
well,
much training
this
you
is one of the
need.
problems I
They
have with
get to-
NRA.
Get to charge you for the training. Yeah, they get to do all these things
Yeah,
to
this
make
is-
it make it more difficult for people to get a gun and carry.
Yeah, I don't know for a fact, but I think this is one of the reasons the NRA's always never really fought for constitutional carry because, a lot of these,
a lot of them use the NRA.
or a lot of them use the NRA to get the requirement to get a concealed carry permit. So, but so this was struck down in the state, but it's still a federal deemed constitutional by a federal judge. And then we also had a federal appeals court struck down parts of the New York gun control law, just parts of it. They kept other parts in place. So the concealed carry applicants' disclosure of social media accounts was ruled
Yeah, that was
unconstitutional. Bans of gun possession on private property by default was ruled unconstitutional. So it was default that you couldn't have it on private property, and that was ruled unconstitutional.
But
And
then they leave other things in. I don't understand. It's good that that's done, but all of these laws should be done away with. All these.
Yeah, but
Things
listen
that
to
are
this
good.
part of it.
All right.
So it prevents the state from enforcing gun possession ban at places of worship against the group of plaintiffs. Not for everybody,
Yeah,
just for the group of
they're
plaintiffs.
just stupid.
Yeah, they could have put a blanket ban against
So
that.
then I guess everybody has to sue to get their rights. That makes no sense. I like only certain
Until it
people get
goes-
a First
I-
Amendment right. Or
I
a
guess
Fourth
until it
Amendment right.
goes through the
That's-
whole
that's-
court system, but
that's
only
rare.
that group.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it's
That's so
silly.
dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the in the news stuff that I had.
It's very uplifting,
Yeah, yeah.
encouraging that we're knocking down
Can-
all these bad laws, and we're really not. We're not making any progress hardly at all.
No, everything keeps going
It'll
back
just-
and forth.
yeah.
You win one, but then it gets some,
Gets
like New
another
York has already come
injunction or
out.
stay
You get
or-
the Bruin case that you
Oh,
think
yeah.
is going to solve all these issues, and then
Then they'll
They
just
find
come
their own.
out and defy it, and then throw it to the court system, and then
there's
do what they want to for years, and then if then they'll throw it out. Oh, my bad, and then nothing happens.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what is supposed to happen? What can happen? Because
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
the Supreme Court can come out with a ruling, but if you don't follow it, what are they going to do?
Yeah, there's no enforcement.
There's
of
no
it.
enforcement
Yeah.
leg on arm of that. So
Yeah.
do have some USCCA news, or not USCCA. We'll get to that in a second. Some USPSA news.
Oh my goodness.
So anybody that
When you don't
been
think it
following
could
the,
get any worse, it
Oh.
just continues to get so stupid.
yeah, two things they've done. Looks like they've been shadow banning some people, so they now know that you can't really just outright ban people anymore because it's causing them issues, and there's a lawsuit over over the organization
Yeah.
for that. But there was a couple of people that had signed up and were getting ready to squad for the
For
IPSC
matches,
for the
yeah.
IPSC match in
Yeah.
Arizona coming up this spring. And for some unknown reason, they just get a note that they got removed from the match.
Yeah.
Don't know why, other than that's Layton's area, and he didn't like the guys.
Yeah. Well, he
And-
didn't. They said something about his son.
Oh yeah. They talked about
yeah,
his son.
because he was. Yeah, and they said something about him, so they kick him out of the
Yeah,
match.
so they kick him out of the match for no reason, refunded them the money, but that's not, they signed up, they paid their money, they
I don't
were
know
in
how
the
you
match.
can do that in ISPC other than it's his range or something.
It's I think it was his
That's
his home range, I guess. But
well, they don't do USPSA at his home range anyway, according to him.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't
so
pay fees
stupid.
according to him.
And these board guys still doing this kind of stuff, and it looks like the president elect Yimin Lin, they reinstated his RO, so he's now considered a range officer again, so he can hold office because he is
Yeah.
an RO. But that was the first vote they took. Then they took a second vote where he can't work as an RO in any matches.
That's so dumb.
So
I think that guy's going to be worthless anyway.
yeah, I don't.
He's gonna be
I didn't vote
worthless.
for him the first time he
He's
ran.
not-
Didn't
he's
vote
not-
for him the second
He's
time
not
he
going to be
ran.
any good.
But yeah, he got his RO reinstated so he can be the president. But they can't go work matches. He was working the IPSC matches because
Yeah.
USPSA didn't have any control over
Yeah.
that.
So have you not seen the latest that's going on with Troy?
Yeah, well, it looks like
Where they were wanting to call that the guy that he
Yeah, the guy he
berated at
berated.
nationals. The guy he berated. They want him to come in so,
Troy
can
can face
question
it.
him.
yeah, whatever, man. That's just bull crap. So
And they have all the written statements. They need to fire the guy, but they don't want to.
yeah, now I see where the Area 8 guy wants Troy's job. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. These guys, man, they're just
Who's the Area 8 guy?
I forget who was it.
Russell Fortney.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's expressed interest in the DNRI position.
Of course he does. It's a good little gig, man. They make all the money, get all the travel. You go shoot matches for free. Yeah, it's a pretty good little thing to have.
Yeah.
Of course, all these guys get this free travel. That's another thing that got voted down. They wanted to one of the
I go back to if people would quit going to these matches, these national matches, and quit giving them money,
they ain't gonna do that.
but people want their matches, and so
They want to shoot these matches. And,
they'll complain a little bit, but then they just turn their head to it and
Yep.
go shoot their match.
Yep.
So it'll never change.
No,
There's no reason for them to change.
no, we got a steel challenge match coming up in spring.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we shoot a steel challenge
I don't
match
know about
because you don't want to shoot a
We'll see.
USCCA match. So,
The USCCA.
I mean, USPSA. I'm getting those backwards. I'm looking at my notes. I got USCCA stuff. Let's just get right to it.
Yeah, let's talk
So
about
here
some
recently,
USCCA
we've
stuff.
seen some negative articles around USCCA.
Videos, multiple videos of people trashing the USCCA about saying they won't cover you like they claim they do.
Yeah.
And there is verbiage in their contract that if you sign with them that they don't have to cover you. It's at their will.
Yep.
It's not, they're not required to. So that is there. Not the greatest thing. I'm not crazy about that. I'm a member. I'm not crazy about that. But the problem is that they use examples of where USCCA didn't cover people, and the examples aren't that good.
No, the two examples I seen were horrible examples.
Well, the first one was that the guy in the just
It was
shot
in the mall.
Yeah, in the mall.
where the two guys were just walking
yeah,
up.
the TikTok guys or whatever they are.
Annoying the guy.
Yeah, put a phone in the guy's face, and it was quick.
Yeah.
I mean, he shot the guy quick. I'm watching the video. There's no reason for him to have shot that guy.
He
And
got
off.
acquitted.
Yeah, it blows my mind that he got acquitted.
He got acquitted for that, but then they're still holding him
Well,
responsible
he
for
got acquitted because people getting sick of all these
Yeah.
TikTokers doing
that's
stupid
exactly
crap.
why he got acquitted.
He didn't get acquitted because hey, that was a good shoot. I mean,
No.
because it was not.
No, he was
So-
a USCCA member. One thing
Yeah.
that bothers me about not his case in general, but the district attorney. So as soon as the shooting was over, this guy calls USCCA.
Right.
It's what he's supposed to do. That's
Yeah.
what we tell. That's what
Yeah.
they tell us to do.
I mean, he called
I've got the
911 in USCCA.
yeah, I've got the little
Yeah.
card
Yeah.
in my wallet, so I know to call them and tell them what's going on. The DA wanted to use that against him,
Right.
and the only reason the judge didn't let him is because it was too late. the evidence
he
was
didn't
presented
bring it
too
up?
late.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think the judge would have let it
Oh,
in.
I'm sure they would, and that's another thing you got to be aware of. That the prosecutors are going to use anything
Gonna use
they can
anything
to make it
against you.
look like you want to do that.
Yeah,
So the second one that they used was the lady that shot her.
husband,
Was it husband or ex-husband?
ex-husband in a Walmart parking
Ex-husband.
lot.
Yeah. So what they don't mention, and USCCA may not be the best thing. That's what I'm currently using. I'm looking at different things, but
Yep.
what they don't tell you in these two videos I watched, one from Branco, one from I forget the other guy's name, but he was the other guy that did it was promoting USCCA for a long time, and now it's promoting two other attorneys. Those
Yeah.
but what
And
they,
Branco, he's a
He's
big
CCW.
He's CCW guy.
Safe or CCW Safe. But so what they don't mention when they talk about this case is it was like she'd gotten her USCCA membership 19 days
prior to the shooting.
prior to the shooting. She was also abusing. She abused the ex-husband.
Yep.
The ex-husband, and this is all over taking the son.
Custody of
Of the son. So the ex-husband wanted to meet her at the police station, and she refused to do that. So he met her. He
In a
met her
Walmart
at the
parking
Walmart parking lot, and she shot him. And
Yeah.
then she calls USCCA.
Yeah.
It just so happened she just 2.5 weeks prior got that membership.
And they covered
shot
they covered the first $50,000 worth of cost, and then while she was out on bail, she got into other troubles,
Oh, really?
doing some things that she wasn't supposed to do. So they stopped covering, and they
So-
tell you specifically if you do something illegal, they're not going to cover you.
Yeah. So and USCCA has some issues. I don't like on some of the way how they cover things.
No,
I like to see what their percentage is of things happening and what they do cover. It's hard to find that information.
Yeah.
But the problem is these people that are making these videos aren't telling the whole story.
No, that's self-serving.
They're using a couple examples. They definitely self-serving because now they're promoting other entities. This one guy's video, he's titled something like U.S. Gun insurance is not worth having, and then once he trashes USCCA, he goes and starts promoting the two attorneys that have their own.
Yeah, which
on retained,
basically,
so.
when you look, I know they call it insurance, but it's not. It's not really insurance. It's legal defense coverage plans. Basically, what it is. USCCA does offer a lot of resources.
Yeah.
I mean, some of
they
it's
do.
good.
Some of it's okay.
And then
Yeah.
when you look at CCW Safe, I think from what I've read, they look like they have the best legal protection. CCW Safe will have to approve your attorney. So if you want a specific attorney, they have to approve it. But if you read the fine print of USCCA, they're kind of the same. They say you can choose your own attorney, but they can say no, you can't use that attorney.
Yeah. I looked at some local attorneys that are with USCCA just to see who's nearby us. And we got a few.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
But they do, if you look at them, though, they're USCCA affiliated, but they're more just like criminal, like DUI. And
you wonder how much self-defense law they really know.
Well, I don't see a lot self-defense stuff with them, but they are affiliated with USCCA. So it'd be interesting. I started looking a little bit just to see who's out there to see what kind of.
Yeah, I've been doing some. I think like you said, we're both members of USCCA and have been for quite a while now.
Yeah, long time.
I've looked at CCW and trying to determine whether or not I want to switch or not. USCCA, their total defense coverage dollar amounts are limited. They reserve the right to make you pay them back everything if you get a guilty verdict.
Yeah, because they sit there and claim insurance can't cover criminal act. But it's not, like we said, it's not.
It's not really insurance. It's legal. It's me like putting a retainer down on a lawyer.
Yeah, they're underwritten by Delta. What is it? Not Delta Defense or something like that.
Yeah. They are underwritten by insurance companies.
So maybe that's why they make that claim. So.
But I did see a couple of people made some statements. Well, if you're found guilty, then they'll make you pay you back, but they don't cover appeals. But when I did listen to a video from USCCA, and they said no, they do. Yeah. It's after all appeals have been done, and if you're guilty after all appeals, then they could.
It was just easier to find information.
Yeah,
and find cases that they. I mean, they should have a list of of cases on their website. Hey, this is what we did. This is how much we covered. Why not do that?
Yeah, and CCW has got an unlimited defense budget. It does say here that you can choose your own lawyer, but like I said, they have to approve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have some resources, not as many resources as USCCA. When I say resources, USCCA's got a lot of training
A lot of
stuff
training stuff.
on theirs, and they got instructor programs and what to do in mass shootings, what to do in church
Right.
development of security teams. Things like this. Some of it's pretty good. Some of it could be better, but
Yeah.
and then it's a higher end cost for CCW. But like I said, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to stay with
Yeah.
USCCA or go to
pay,
CCW.
I pay yearly, so I'm with them until.
Well, I pay monthly, and I pay. I've
So
got
I
the
could go to
elite
next
coverage.
November.
I do $49 a month on this
Yeah,
stuff,
that's
so
high.
it gets expensive over there.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive.
But the CCW Safe is, their higher program is about the same. And then one thing I've seen, and I might be wrong, I haven't looked into the CCW Safe as much as I'm going to, but it looked like all of their programs involved having a concealed carry permit,
Yeah,
except for
should be.
there are some for constitutional carry states. But if you're not in a constitutional carry state,
It
and you
should
don't
be,
have, it shouldn't matter if
no,
you've got
it
a
shouldn't
concealed
matter.
carry permit. If
No,
you're,
it shouldn't matter at all.
but some of their things talked about you got to have a concealed carry permit. So if something happened in your home and you defended yourself in your home, you're still going to need legal protection.
Yeah.
Are they not going to cover that?
Yeah, a lot of these companies really aren't Second Amendment.
So that would
they're-
worry me. That worries me a little bit because let's say you forget your concealed carry permit expires and you just didn't realize it,
Yeah.
and then something happens and boom, they're going to use that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not covered. Your concealed carry permit
Yeah.
was
So
expired.
I mean, if you're looking into getting some, you probably, I mean, it's either find an attorney, have an attorney on retainer, know some people that you can call if you need to, or go to one of these companies, but do some research on them. I'm going to have to do some more research and decide what I want to do, but definitely research it and have a plan
So if you
for
ever
something
an
happens.
attorney on retainer, do they cover your bail? Do they cover all that?
Probably not.
So
no.
that's-
So
you know-
USCCA would bail you out.
They
At
bail
least
you
they
out.
say.
They give you $750 per diem
Yeah.
during court.
Yeah, so I mean, you just research it and see what's going to be best for you, but have some kind of idea of what you're going to have to do because you don't want to be trying to make those plans as you're sitting in jail.
No, you need to have
You want
that.
to you want to have an idea of what you're going to do. What is wrong with your dog over there? Well, she got down slow.
She's make me worry about my dog. My little Dotson I used to have little seizures. Oh, it is. I'm supposed to get me a new Dotson.
Your wife said you weren't.
Yeah, she gonna be out of town.
Oh my god! All right, what you got up next?
That's really all I got for today. We can do the tip of the week that we've been talking
That's
about.
all you got.
What do you mean? That's all
That's
I got.
it?
What else do you have? We're 43 minutes into it.
I doubt that. We had phone calls and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I started the timer over. No, so tip of the week, we already talked a little bit about that, the difference between concealment and cover. So if you're in your house or you're in a parking garage, we've mentioned this before, but understand the difference between concealment is just going to hide you, cover is going to protect you. So if you're wanting to find something that's going to protect you, a brick wall or a
Engine block.
engine block of your car, not your car door.
No,
I know
that's-
you
that's
mentioned
gonna-
that
that's
earlier.
gonna
That's not
conceal.
going to stop it.
But it would help if you're shooting through a wall into the car door. There's more cover than
It's not cover. It's more.
there's more. It's cover.
All right, whatever.
If you're going through from a brick wall through a door, and
well, the
then
brick
you-
wall is probably going to stop it anyway.
No, don't be saying crap to me.
That's what I'm not
Man, it's
saying.
better.
I didn't say it wouldn't. I didn't say it wouldn't. I said it wouldn't cover. It's concealment.
Mm.
But yeah, so just understand the difference between the two. Cover will actually protect you from a projectile, and concealment
Dog's
just going
acting-
to
your
hide
dog's
you.
acting weird over there.
Phoebe, you okay? Phoebe, hey, Phoebe, Phoebe.
You may want to check on your dog though. Oh, she's up. That's weird. Anyway, so are you done with your conceal versus cover tip?
But
What was the tip?
know the difference. Know the difference.
Okay.
Understand the difference in what.
Okay, calm down. I did ask you
Calm
what the tip
down.
was.
You mean what the tip
Goodness
was?
gracious.
You got me worried about my dog. Forget where I was at. That's all I got. So if you want a shirt, shoot us an email, leave a review on YouTube or Instagram, and we'll send you a free shirt.
Where at? What's the email?
info@clearcreekshooting33.com, or our Instagram at everythingguns_podcast, or Clear Creek Shooting 33, and the YouTube channel is
Same thing.
Clear Creek
Same
Shooting
thing.
33.
All
Check
right.
out the DQ video.
Oh, yeah, that's
Let
good.
me know if you think I got
Oh,
DQ'd.
yeah. Well, you did get DQ'd.
Well, I got DQ'd,
I
but
mean, we
if
know
it was
you got
legitimate.
DQ'd.
Even though if it wasn't legitimate.
All right. Now, all you got?
That's all I got. We are Everything Guns.
We're out.